Most buyers think they still need to wait to find extreme value in the Vancouver market. And here's a problem with that mindset. The best opportunities right now don't wait for certainty. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through a purchase we just completed on November 29th, where my buyer secured a Vancouver condo $193,000 under assessed value and at the third lowest price per square foot in that building's entire history out of 153 total sales. I'm going to show you exactly how we found it, why I targeted this specific building, what was happening with the seller behind the scenes, and how identifying pressure, not headlines, is how you find real value in this market. We'll go through the listing itself, the numbers, and the strategy so you can understand how to spot distressed sellers, which buildings are quietly breaking, and why waiting for perfect conditions often means missing the best deals. So let's take a look at this listing. 2501 1480 Howe Street. This is located in the Vancouver House and the exact type of avatar of property that I look for people who are wanting the best type of value in real estate at this moment. We know that the condo market is extremely distressed. We know that the downtown market specifically has tons of inventory, and anything built from 2020 onward is ripe for this type of strategy, especially in these higher end luxury builds. So here, as we look at some of the details before going into a little bit more strategy, this was on market just 19 days. So my buyer in particular was actually one of, similar to you, a YouTube buyer of mine who reached out, gave me some of his credentials in terms of what he was looking for and wanting to buy. So we honed in on this unit, particularly in the Vancouver House. And what you're going to see here is we bring up the tax assessment. This was assessed at $1,025,000. And obviously with the sales price of $832,000, this was almost $200K under assessment. And as we bring up the history here, this is something that you want to take a look at. This was originally listed back in 2022 at just under 1.1 million. So from when they originally took this property to market back in 2022 at 1.1 million, it had dropped all the way down to 832,000. And when I look at history, and this is something that I always look at to see what kind of pattern. Obviously, when I look at something like this, where, you know, this property was recorded on September 22nd, 2022 at an initial offering of 1.98 million. Then we see a couple years later, they've had a huge adjustment from essentially 1.1 million all the way down to 857. To me, that shows that there is some motivation in terms of the seller needing to make a move. So as we look at some of these higher end properties and why this date of 2020 is really important, we got to think both in 2025, 2026, over 60% of mortgage renewals are coming up. 2026 specifically, buyers on average are going to be seeing a 20% lift on their mortgage payments, and some are greater than 30%. So depending on the seller's situation financially, if they are not going to be able to make that renewal happen, or in this case, because this is a tenanted property, with the rental rate going down, or they signed a rent that wasn't great, it's not covering the cost. With maintenance fees going up in stratas, with property insurance, with whatever else is going on, it is starting to create some issues. And for you buyers out there who are extremely flexible in terms of your timing, if you have money on hand ready to make a move, something that is also a cheat code is looking for something that is tenanted, especially if it has a fixed term tenancy. One of the reasons why I do believe this property, because it was priced extremely well, even at this 857 that wasn't moving, it had a fixed term tenancy. We already know that a lot of buyers out there don't want to inherit a tenant. They're scared of the tenant not moving out. And especially if it's a fixed term tenancy, you can't give notice until that contract ends. In this particular situation, there was a fixed term tenancy at the end of February. So in this particular situation, because my buyer was extremely flexible, we could wait on this property and give the proper notice and have a completion date that would be in April, and he didn't have a problem with it. Many buyers out there, if they've sold something, they need to get into something now. So any rental property, and for those sellers out there who have a tenanted property, you're probably seeing this exact same story. People come through, they may love the unit, but they can't wait 3 or 4 or 5 months, especially if it's a fixed term tenancy. A lot of tenants, they don't want to break the lease early, or if they do, they want to have the seller pay for that mutual release. So when you can start to look at some of these factors, this 2020 mark, upcoming mortgage renewals, rent rents that are going down, tenanted properties. These are all things that we are looking for. And in terms of this type of property as well, when they are in these higher end luxury markets, a lot of the people who invested are people who own a principal residence and they may have 2 or 3 properties. They're not big corporations, but they're the ones that feel the squeeze on these things and want to liquidate it. So as we go through the unit itself, if you haven't seen the Vancouver house on the inside, it is beautiful. There's not a ton of photos on this one just because it was tenanted. But you can see here on the floor plan, this is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and it does come with parking and storage. And that's another win for my buyer. A lot of these higher end properties, they sometimes don't come with a storage locker, or there's other ones that don't even come with parking. So it was a good layout for my buyer's specific needs. There's a lot of windows here because the unit was not super deep. A lot of natural light would come in. For those of you who haven't seen inside the Vancouver house, we can go through the photos here and show you a couple things. So what I like about this property, you essentially walk right into the unit. Yes, there's a little bit of a foyer here, but some of this foyer does make part of the kitchen. And there's a space here for more storage if you wanted to do a build-in and your closet. So some of this is usable. This has a massive, massive bathroom here. It's actually a 5-piece. So it has a nice walk-in shower here, a big soaker tub, and then your toilet and your sink. It has the 2 bedrooms. It does have storage. It does have parking. That is a huge win too, because some of the ones that are sitting, they don't have a storage locker or they don't have parking, and that makes it very, very hard to sell. This unit isn't super deep, so it does allow a lot of great sunlight in here. And for my specific buyer's needs and how the tenant actually had this set up, you're not going to be able to see how this was particularly staged just because they're vacant photos, but they set this up very, very well. They actually had their living space. They actually had their kitchen space right in the middle here. This was a bedroom, and then they turned this into the TV room. So it gave itself some really, really nice features in terms of what you could do with the unit. 777 square feet. These are big door assemblies, triple glazed windows, so you can't hear any of the noise coming in from the street and from down below. We are also on the 25th floor, having a little bit more of a view corridor, and you have water views that are in behind me here. What's really cool about the Vancouver house, because it is a high-end build, you have some of these elevated ceiling heights, and in here, this is where your heating and cooling come from. It actually has 3 different zones in this 2-bedroom. So whether you're in the main space or the 2 bedrooms, you actually have your own thermostat to be able to move forward with that. So you can see the AC up here, the heating on the ground, and again, all these doors, they're solid core wood doors, really good construction, nice white oak flooring in here as well. And this is actually marble, it's not quartz. So again, a higher end building. Yes, you have to do some maintenance on this, but a beautiful aesthetic, very minimalist integration with the Melee appliance package as well. And then you can see here the 5-piece bathroom with the walk-in shower, the niche, and the tub itself. So all in all, this was a really great win for my buyer client. He is super, super ecstatic. This is something that he wanted to be proud of, being in a signature building here in Vancouver and then getting great value. And even little built-ins like this in the closet, just a great touch in terms of attention to detail. And I know for those who are scared of buying a tenanted property, there is a due diligence period. We were able to meet the tenants. They are absolutely wonderful. They're going to work with us through this process. So sometimes, you may find a unit that you like, but it could be a complete nightmare with the tenant. And some signs to look out for, if you're doing open houses or private showings and the tenant doesn't really want to leave, or it's very hard to get into a unit because the tenant continues to cancel it for a variety of different issues, right? Those are things that may put up some red flags in terms of someone that you may not want to deal with. With how this works here in BC, if it is tenanted, we have to give 3 full months for personal use. So if you, for example, if we were to remove subjects in December, we would have to wait to give those full months this month, and then the clock would start running in January, February, March with a move-in date in April. So that's exactly what we're doing in this position. We did have something in line with flexibility in terms of those move-in dates as well. So if all of a sudden you're wanting to put something together that's tenanted and say the tenant wants to move out early, you can having that flexibility to move in. And that's why if you are a buyer and you are flexible with your dates, you are flexible with your funds, you can do, a very quick completion, this is the things that you can do to really get some really good value in here. As we close this out in terms of just the overall items here, gross taxes just around $3,200 annually. And I know a lot in the comments are probably going to talk about this, but the maintenance fee is high. It's almost $1,000 a month, but this is a premium build. It has a ton of amenities. And for this particular buyer, that was not a concern for him. He wanted to enjoy the amenities and he really wanted to be in this building. So there's always trade-offs, right? He's going to get some really good pricing, but some of that trade-off is, and why sometimes in these situations they can be harder to sell, is if you have a very high maintenance fee. But if you can offset that with the purchase price, it all works out at the end of the day here. So again, if we're recapping this, if you are a buyer, if you're needing some help, first book that discovery call in that description below, or you can scan the QR code. But again, if you are looking for property, you're wanting to look at stuff that was completed where the buyer purchased in year 2020 or 2021, there's going to be likely a mortgage renewal coming up, or a 3-year fixed is very, very popular. So someone who has completed something in 2023, maybe have a 3-year term, those are people and properties that you're going to want to look after. You're also going to want to look at some of these high-end luxury buildings, One Burrard Place, the Butterfly. I know a lot of those layouts aren't great, but there is value in there, and anything can sell if the price is right. So again, luxury units, stuff built on 2020 onward. If you're flexible, something that is tenanted, even better if it has a fixed tenancy and you can make those dates work, are all some of these things that we're looking at. Because when you go to a building, and we can use some of these as an example here, if we look at Vancouver House right now, and this is another thing that you're going to want to look at, currently 31 active listings here. Some of these are rentals here, the first couple, and you can kind of see they're actually selling, which is interesting here. These essentially little storage spaces here for $90,000. So whether you want to put in a closet or a wine fridge or whatever they're deeming it as, they're selling these upwards of $170,000 up to $288,000 for some of these. But when you look at properties and buildings, you want to look at ones that have a ton of inventory. You can kind of look at and try to apply the strategy to find the ones who are a little bit more desperate to sell. Another one that's essentially just right across the street in this area that sells much lower than the industry standard in terms of values is the Pacific building as well. This one usually has a lot more inventory. There's a little bit less here, but there's 11 units in here as well. This one you got to be careful because some of them don't have storage, some of them don't have parking. So those are some of the things that you're going to want to avoid with all of that. And I know that we've looked at some of these units in here, and the ones that we did identify on a higher floor with a view didn't have a parking. So that was an issue. And I've sold in here before, and I know how hard it is to sell. There's nothing wrong. This is Grosvenor Build, very reputable builder. But once you start having some fire sales, it sets a new price per square foot. Then things start to sit here, and they can start to sit for a long time. I mean, some of these 239 days, 162 days. I know a lot of people in here have been trying to sell for 3 or 4 years. So at the end of the day, if you are a buyer, don't necessarily wait. I know in the comments people say don't catch the falling knife. You don't necessarily need to do that right now. I mean, you can get that built-in value now if you know what to look for. And if you are a buyer and you're wanting some sort of value here, make sure that you reach out so we can have a conversation. Thanks so much. I'll see you on the next one.